We'll get started in just a few minutes once some more people log on. Welcome to Pantry Talk. Can you guys hear me on Zoom? Can you hear me? Welcome to Pantry Talk. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Once some more people join us, I want to be considerate of everyone's time. How's everyone doing today? I know we are, I'm on the verge, but I think I can make it another day. All right, I think we have some people logging into Zoom, and I see some people joining on Facebook. Hello, welcome to Pantry Talk. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments, and if you're on Zoom, just so the people that are on Facebook know, we are also live on Zoom, where we can see each other and talk a little bit more. So if you want to flip over to Zoom, you're welcome to. We are going to be doing both Facebook and Zoom, so you are fine if you don't have Zoom. But that's also a free app you can download or go through your internet browser and connect there, and we can do more facial conversation and more conversation in person, just over the phone. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so if you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments or raise your hands on the Zoom, so that we can make sure that everyone is on there. So if you have any questions on Zoom, just raise your hand and we will be glad to help you. And if you have any questions, or we're looking to do this a little bit more, just continuing through our 14-day, 15-day quarantine that they're asking us to do, and social distancing. I think this is a great way to bring out ideas and creative ways to interact with people and get ideas for those things that you have in your pantry. So a few things. Again, if you're just joining, thank you for joining Pantry Talk. We are excited to have you guys join us tonight. And so if you have any questions on Facebook, you're welcome to comment on there. Any questions you have, and any suggestions. And then you cannot hear me. Okay, let's see. Maybe my stand was covering up the speaker. Is this better? So can you hear me now? I think I've adjusted everything, so we are good to go. All right, so we are going to talk about a few things. I want to talk about some staples that I have being quarantined. So we're going to just talk about some simple things, such as, we're going to start off with breakfast. Breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day, so we're going to talk about oatmeal. What I like to do with oatmeal, this is rolled oats, the old-fashioned. It's not the quick cooking kind. I like to have this because this is going to fill you up. I know you have kids at home that are probably crawling up the walls by now. And you're trying to get them to learn. You're trying to get them to read. You're trying to get them to just be engaged other than the video games and their phone and technology. So having them help you in the kitchen, preparing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, since you are having to do 3 meals, is a great way to do this. And what I like to do with my oatmeal is I like to bake it in the oven, and I can post those recipes for you if you need them. But doing a quick baked oatmeal with some frozen berries or some apples or bananas or even some dried fruit with different spices, like doing a cardamom and apple with a little cinnamon and ginger, or you can do a banana and almond type baked oatmeal. I like to do that. If you just cook oatmeal on the stove, that is fine also. Just so you know, you do not have to throw your oatmeal away at the end of the day. It's good the next day. Put a little milk in there, some water, microwave it for a few minutes, and it'll be right back to life. So you can definitely use oatmeal more than one day. Sometimes I'll make a pot just for like 2 or 3 days, so I don't have to keep making it over and over and over again. And you can sweeten it with a little honey or agave. You want to right now, because we are trying to make sure our system doesn't get this virus. We want to make sure we're not feeding it a whole lot of dairy, a whole lot of carbohydrates, sugars. We don't want our bodies to spike, especially if you're have hypertension or diabetes. We don't want any of those other things to have to fight against what we're already fighting. Our bodies are already trying to fight to be immune to. So I like to do that. I talk about cereal a lot of times during the cooking class. This is one of our kids' favorite food items is cereal. And this is one of mine that I like to have a lot of times. But if you look on the side of the nutrition label, you'll see that this cereal has 14 servings. It's 1 cup. So this is enough for me to continue to have a cup every day through my quarantine. A lot of times when you say the kids go prepare themselves a bowl of cereal, it's 2 to 3 times what a serving of cereal might be. And that's why they're so geeked up on the sugar, because this cereal has 11. I usually like the traditional honey bunches of oats, but they didn't have that in the store. And Publix had them on sale. So this is what I got. This one has, I try to go for 9 grams or less of sugar. This one has 11. So I try to go with that. So what I like to do is measure it out and put it in these portion Ziploc bags. You can get these at Walmart. I don't know if they have them now, but they have portions. They have a cup, 3/4 of a cup, a half a cup, and a 1/4 cup. So you can use these to portion out snacks based upon what their serving size says. Or if it says 16 pretzels, you put 16 pretzels in a bag, and the kids just go grab a bag versus going in their hands. It also helps with contamination right now. Instead of just going in the bag and opening the bag of chips up and sitting down watching TV eating it, it's easier for them to go get a Ziploc bag that's already portioned. You can do this as a family. And say, okay, look, we're going to put, what does the serving size say? Okay, we're going to put 16. Or if it says 14 or whatever, you can put those, even like grapes. I do that for grapes. Or my cuties, when I need not have to peel when I'm on the go, I'll put a cutie in the bag so I have somewhere to throw the pill away when I'm done. So those are the type of things I like to use. I like to use these for these type things. Also, we have our popcorn. A lot of times, a lot of times also with our popcorn and our chips, we'll just open up the bag, especially right now. We're not thinking about, the calories, this and that. We still want our summer bodies. Hopefully we'll have them. But we want to also look at this. So I look at this popcorn here. And this popcorn says it's 3 cups is a serving. But if I have 1 cup, it's only 45 calories. So if I put 1 cup in here, that's all I really need as a snack. I wouldn't need 3 cups of popcorn unless I'm really watching a movie or having a movie night, something like that. But with this, you could have a cup and hand this to a kid, and they can go eat their popcorn, and they can say, okay, well, I finished my popcorn, so that's all I get right now. So you can do that and help your kids stay out your pantry and in your snack closets, because I know that's one thing they're doing a lot. I've seen it on Facebook. Also, what I like to do for snackage-wise and cereal, things like that, these are one of the better kind of fruit snacks to have if you can get them. If not, that is okay. But Annie's, I love their products overall. They have good goldfish, or not goldfish, but they have good cheese crackers and other types of snacks, granola bars, mac and cheese, soups. Those are great things to get. This is an organic company. And these are made with all natural ingredients. They're organic, so it's not fake stuff. It's real stuff. And you can sneak these in with their kids' vitamin gummies. If they're taking vitamins or you have trouble getting them to have vitamins, buy these and then buy the packs of vitamin gummies and open the pack up before you hand it to them, and then put the vitamin gummies in there, and they won't know the difference of, I'm eating fruit snacks. And these taste like candy, but these are a lot better for your kids rather than the other stuff. And there's 5 servings in a box. So when you give these to the kids, okay, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are your 5 snacks. And this wouldn't be a substitute for fruit, but it'd just be an additional add-on. I don't consider this a fruit at all, but it's more of a snack. So I would suggest using those versus some of the other ones they have out there. Now we're going to go to meals. If you have any questions, please comment below. I see where one of our divas said that she did the cereal and it was 2 cups in her bowl today, and then Mom measured it out. Great job, Mom. So we're going to talk about lunchtime. I know in our pantries we are having a lot of soups, and this is a great soup to have. One thing I like about it, the one thing I really don't like about it, I should say, is our sodium. This, okay, we'll come back to that. The sodium, this can, it's a serving, is 220 calories, so it's on the lighter side for a soup because it's broth. But the salt is half your days of salt, over half your day. It's 1,120 milligrams of salt. And especially hypertension, that's all you should have is about 1,100 for the whole day. So if you eat this can of soup, you are at your salt intake. So that means you need to drink your water. That's another key thing. Keeping hydrated throughout the day, especially with this virus we're trying to fight. Make sure we don't get it. So it has 1,120 milligrams of sodium, 10 grams of fat, and it has 26 grams of carbohydrates. But if you split this as a family or added more fresh vegetables or frozen vegetables, this would be better for you. So I would say like our go slow and whoa. This would be a slow, but it could be a go by adding just some more bell peppers, some onions, some fresh spinach. This is an Italian-based soup. Minestrone's Italian-based, so it has a lot of vegetables already. But let's add some more. If you needed that protein or that, it has lentils, so that's your bean and protein aspect of it. If you wanted to add a protein, you could do some, chicken or some ground turkey to it and turn it to a pasta fagioli, which is a little bit heavier calories and with fat. So I like to say soups are a good thing to have as a staple just because it will last for quite a while time. Going back to the snack question, I would say a snack maybe after breakfast. But if the kid gets up at 9 and eats pancakes and eggs and whatever you make them, I don't think they need a snack in the middle right before lunch. So an afternoon snack would be good, probably about 2, 3 o'clock. If you have dinner at 6. But if you don't have dinner till 7, 8 o'clock, they might be hungry again. So that's where you also have to adjust your schedule for the family to make it work for you. Because right now we're all trying to adjust to kids being home. Kids are going to be home for the next, 15, 20 days or longer. And we don't know. They're saying school's out to April 1st, but it could be very much longer. So we just have to see. Kind of go based on your kids. If they're little, they get hungry a lot, or especially boys. Boys and teenagers get hungry and eat more than females do. So you have to look at that and say, okay, let's try fresh fruit in the morning and then a snack in the afternoon. And then if you're hungry even after dinner, okay, let's do another piece of fresh fruit. That's probably the best way to do it. Offering them choices to make the choice, doing smoothies, doing popsicles, keeping liquids, even if you make like shaved ice or slushies with 100% juice, those things will keep the kids hydrated, but also give them a serving of vegetables if you give them, some juice and a slushie or freeze it into a popsicle, things like that. All right, we're going to go with some other things I like to add to supplement, to give me some more vitamins and minerals and to help my body. Also, I like to add things like flaxseed to my oatmeals or pretty much anything you can put flaxseed and hide it from your kids. Some hemp seeds. I did a smoothie this morning with hemp, flaxseed, and chia seeds. So when I do these things, they bulk up. They give you more fiber. They give you more energy. What I like to do with chia and flax seeds is turn it into egg substitute. So if I'm baking something such as like banana bread or my baked oatmeal and I don't have any eggs, you can turn this or this into an egg substitute by soaking it in water, and it will bloom and turn into like a gel. You can make with chia seeds, you can make a chia seed pudding and do some pureed strawberries or some chocolate, cocoa, and make a pudding out of these chia seeds as a nice afternoon snack for your kids with some fresh fruit. So I like to use these, like I'll mix these in breakfast items, pancakes, muffins, or if I can sneak it in there, I'm going to sneak it in there any way I can so I can get extra vitamins and minerals from these things. All right. So let's talk about some other canned items that we have that we probably picked up in the store, such as beans, some dried rice. So I have some black beans in my pantry, and these are low sodium. That's what you want to look for when you're buying canned goods. Canned goods are also a great money-saving versus in time saving. They're not really money saving. A bag of beans and a can of beans are about the same price, but actually you get less more if you buy it canned rather than dry. So if you have time to soak beans, since you're home, I would say soak your beans so you can cook them in whatever seasoning you want, however you want them to be cooked. These canned beans have already been cooked. They're in water and they have salt. So what I like to do when I'm using canned beans is rinse them first, and then I'll go and do the next thing with them. So if I'm making a black bean soup, I'll rinse them so I can get all the nasty water, good stuff that was on there. And then I'll use maybe chicken broth or stock or some bouillon to season my broth to make my beans, smash them up, add some diced onions, some bell pepper, and have my black bean soup. Or I'll take other beans and make chili. If you were cooking class last Tuesday, this is what we did. We used a whole lot of different color beans, such as kidney and garbanzo, and we use cannellini, pinto, red, navy beans. So we use a whole lot of beans to make that chili. So you can do that too. That's another quick meal stretcher, especially during this time. We want to make sure that we have meals that stretch but also feed our kids, and we make the most of our money. We don't want to waste any food right now. So what I also like to do, can of beans, if you have baked beans, also stretch it. You can turn these into a chili. Yes, they have some sweetness, but if you add spiciness to it, it will turn into a chili with some other beans, some ground meat. Or you can keep your baked beans and add some ground turkey and some other bell peppers and onions and turn it into, I call it calico beans, when I add some other color beans to it and I bake them in the oven, and then you have a little bit of a stew and they're a little heartier rather than just eating these beans. But other last resort, chop up some hot dogs, turkey hot dogs, hopefully, and turn it into some beanie weenies, which is a classic. I haven't had beanie weenies in a long time. All right, other things we like to say, canned sardines or tuna. Those are also great meals. I don't know how many kids these days have actually had sardines ever. So I used to eat them as a kid. This was one of those things that you eat at grandma's house with some mustard. They came in mustard, they came in olive oil, I think, or they came like in a hot sauce with some saltine crackers, and you go to town with these things. You might get some bones, but saltines are also good. Sardines, not saltines. Sardines are also good. They have great vitamins, and these are just in water, so they have no flavor. So you can make you a nice salad with these on there if you wanted to, with a nice vinaigrette dressing, some fresh vegetables, and have you some sardines. Tuna. What ways can you make tuna? More than just the southern tuna salad. There are plenty of ways. This has great protein. This can is 2 servings. So I know if you're eating it just like it is, it's 2 servings. But if you're making tuna salad, adding that heavy mayo, the relish, the eggs, the mustard, the paprika, let's try it lighter, especially right now, because we want to not, feel so guilty. By doing like a vinaigrette dressing, or you could use a Greek yogurt and some herbs and some carrots, celery. You can do some bell peppers, great seasonings. You could do a lemon pepper tuna salad. You could do just kind of freshen it up, or you could do tuna cakes, or you could do a tuna helper with a little milk and some pasta and make a tuna helper really easy and really affordable. So those are some things. Any questions? What do you have in your pantry? Let's see. What do you have in your pantry? Also, going back to the dried beans while you're typing, hopefully. We have, I like to use what's called an Instapot. If you've been to the kitchen, you've seen me use it before. But I can soak my beans overnight. Or in the Instapot, I can cook them in 35 minutes later. They won't be, because the pressure cooker, they won't have the gas that you normally have from having to soak your beans. So you can try that. You can do lima beans and rice, which is a great staple. This is brown rice. You can also cook a batch of brown rice in about 12 to 15 minutes with either some chicken stock or water. It's equal ratios 1-to-1. If you do it on the stove, because you don't have an Instapot, it's usually 1-to-2. Or follow the instructions on the bag, because different rices call for different measurements and different ratios based upon the grain of rice and how it's made. Another thing I did last night was I made a pasta bake. I had some little bow tie pastas, and I didn't have any other noodles, so I made my recipe of a baked spaghetti. which is where I go and I take ground turkey or ground beef, some turkey, Italian sausage, or pork, depending on which one you prefer. And I saute it with peppers and onions. I had mushrooms in my fridge. I had an eggplant, so I broke that up. Garlic. And I sauteed it. And then I blended up the vegetables separate. I'm sorry, I cooked the meat and the vegetables separate. I blended up half of the vegetables. The other half I kept to fold in to my, I folded into my dish so I have some texture. And so I took half the blended up vegetables, put it in my sauce. The other half I kept and folded it into my pasta. So you have bites of eggplant and spinach while you're eating the pasta, and you're hiding the veggies from the kids and maybe dad who's not a good vegetable eater. You can do that so that they can get their vegetables also. You want to make sure they're getting their vegetables, getting all the vitamins they need while they are home. And also another thing to take advantage of, yes, or veggie crumbles. Yes, if you want to keep vegan, you can definitely use veggie crumbles. I saw some of our parents making a chicken soup. I saw some people making a veggie stir fry. It looked really good. So it's important to be at home and cooking. That's another activity your kids can do. Creates a responsibility so that when we do get released out of this hold, your kids can start cooking at home. They can start working with you to, okay, this is steps 1 and 2 that I'm going to do. Mom takes over at 3 and 4, and then they come back together, do 5 and 6. So it could be such as simple as taking out the veggies, cutting up. They have a certain knife they use. They have a cutting board they use, and they just use that stuff when they're at home so that, big sister and little sister can work together and to have this done after they do their homework. Or you can say, okay, tonight, Mom, Dad and sibling 1 are in charge of dinner. Tomorrow, Dad and sibling 2 is in charge of dinner, or Mom. You can alternate like that to get the kids in the kitchen and Dad helping and Mom helping, and then the other team cooks, and then the next team cooks, and the other team cleans up, and then the other team cleans up. So you just alternate and create that family communication and that time together. Any questions, please feel free to add in. Okay, milk is scarce. Is powdered milk a great alternative? Yes. With powdered milk, what I like to do if I have to use it is make it the night before so it's chilled by the time the kids get up in the morning and they don't know. So another option is to leave like a half gallon. If you get a gallon container of milk, use half of it. Add powdered milk to the rest. Fill it back up. By the next morning, it'll be chilled. Mix it up. Shake it up. Kids don't know. If you're used to drinking almond milk and all the alternative milk beverages, you can use those also. But when you're cooking, just remember, those might not cook the same as regular milk does in dishes. So if you're making a mac and cheese, or if you're making just anything, baking, just make sure when you're picking those up that that might not work properly. So yeah, you can stretch your milk by using powdered milk, which actually costs more, which I'm surprised about. But yes, it's a great alternative to regular milk. Any questions? Another thing I'm doing right now to keep myself healthy with a compromised system is using these emergency packets. You take one of these packets and put it into water and drink it as a cup. So it gets a little fizzy, so tell the kids you can have them drink these. I think they're great for the kids. They do have kid ones, I think, also in other flavors. But this is what I had at the house so that I could easily get to it. And I drink this to keep my immune system boosted. So yes, you can drink orange juice. Yes, you can eat certain vegetables, but if you need a quick boost so that you're making sure you're fighting, your body's in top shape to fight, this is a great way to do it. Emergency. If they don't have them in the stores, sometimes they have airborne, things like that. You can see if Amazon might have them. All right. Fruit. I know when I was at the store the other day, fruit was fighting for. It was hard to fight for. And so what I like to do is just use some canned fruit. What I look for in here, this one says, if you can see it, in juice. So I'm looking for fruit that's in juice. I don't want heavy syrup or light syrup. If it is and those things and you have it already in your pantry, just take it, rinse it off like you would do the beans, and then you're good to go. I like to also freeze some fruit so that I can make smoothies, or you can add ice to your smoothies, but it's also easy to just take some of this, put it in the freezer in a Ziploc bag, and you have it ready for a smoothie. You can do smoothie bags with your frozen fruit. So if you have bananas that are almost going bad or any kind of fruit, you can also make a sorbet out of it with popsicles and blend all your frozen fruit up, add 100% juice, throw it back in the freezer for a little while so it can freeze and firm back up, and then you have fruit sorbet, which is also a good healthy snack, great in vitamins. What about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? in this day, right now, go for it. But what you want to look for is peanut butter and jelly is try to do a whole wheat, 100% whole wheat bread. Look for peanut butter that's naturally made if you have it. If not, just go with what you have. It's not about running out to the stores right now because we don't want anyone else to get sick. So what's in your pantry, we're going to use right now. So bread, you can freeze bread so it stays longer. You can take Ziploc sandwich bags, put 2 slices of bread in it, throw it back in the bread bag so it stays compact and it doesn't start getting smushed with other things. And then just open up the bread bag, take 2 slices out. They'll thaw out within 10-15 minutes. You make your sandwich. Also, tip, a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich is really good if you add some sliced bananas to it. That's just a chef tip, but it's really good. Grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are wonderful. We are, I like to use a jam or a jelly that is low in sugar or whole fruit jams if possible. But whatever you have, Smucker's, Kroger's, Publix, whatever you have, because again, I don't want you going out into the store to try to find stuff. Use it. Any other questions? Also, another thing I like to have right now, is some protein bars. Even though the kids might not like them, parents, this is great for you to have. Natural protein bars. This is sweetened with dates, egg whites, chocolate, peanut oil, and sea salt. So these are very, you can name all the ingredients versus some other protein bars you can't. So find a protein bar that this could supplement. This could be your breakfast in the morning so that when you get up, you eat this, you're ready to rock and roll when the kids get up and get moving for the day. So you already had that meal. You can worry about feeding them and you can get started working. Some other resources to use right now. Instead of going to the store, you can use Instacart. There is one called Ship It. And then Kroger's also does online ordering where you can go pick it up. Sam's Club does the same thing. And I think Costco works with Instacart. So if you are really desperate, they might not have everything that's on your list. I've seen where people are saying, I ordered 20 items, I got 12, or I ordered, I'm not sick. Where I've ordered 15 items and I got 5 of them. Be patient with those people. Tip them if you can so that they are out there working and fighting for your groceries so that they can bring them to you so you don't have to leave the house and do it. So that's also giving someone a job. So yes, when you do, side note, when you order from Kroger's, if your Kroger Plus card number is connected to us, every time you shop, it donates back to Choices a percentage of your order. So we would love for you to connect your card to Choices. You can do that online through their app, and we will try to have that up again in the next couple of days so you can see how to do it. It'll have steps A through whatever to get you to connect it, and it'll show you how to do that. All right. Are there any more questions? I don't want to keep you guys. I know it's time for dinner. What are y'all having for dinner? I'm having leftovers. I think I have some roasted potatoes in the fridge. I have some collard greens. And what else do I have? I think I have some pasta. Well, I don't think I want pasta today. I think I'm going to do the collard greens, my vegetarian collard greens, and some roasted potatoes in my air fryer. Just do a simple meal. Any questions? Well, if not, I thank you guys for your time. And we will try to do another one of these later on this week, possibly. I hope this was very informational for you guys. And if you have any comments or questions, stuffed bell peppers, okay? But if you have any comments, questions, please post them. We will try to do this again maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. We'll kind of gauge the your comments and your responses that are on here. Okay, stuffed bell peppers, leftover vegan stir fry, chicken stir fry. All right, so stuffed bell peppers. Miss King, what I would do with I saw that today. Chef LP from the Miami Teacup posted this recipe. He took ground beef and ground sausage, but I would do ground turkey and ground Italian sausage if you have it. If not, just do one or the other. Saute it with some bell peppers. Again, you can use the tops of the bell peppers because after you clean them off. In the bottom when you trim it to make it flat. And then so you're going to saute bell peppers and onions and garlic. You're going to have some rice that you're going to fill it in with. and your ground meat, and you're gonna crack an egg, some salt, pepper, seasonings, whatever you have. You can fill it back up. You're gonna roast your pepper for like 10 minutes to start cooking. It's gonna start wilting, and then you're gonna saute while your peppers are cooking. You can saute your meat mixture and everything, and then season it. You can do a little heat in there if you wanted to, with some cayenne pepper, crushed red pepper, and then just do some like garlic, salt and pepper, onion powder, some basic seasoning so that you can taste the rice and the other stuff, the peppers. I would even add spinach to that mixture, or some mushrooms, whatever you have in your fridge, whatever vegetables, and then you add some rice. About, if you're doing 4 peppers, I would do about a cup and a half of rice. That's going to be your binder. That's what's going to keep everyone full, with the ground meat and the other vegetables that are inside of it. And then you're going to stuff your pepper after it comes out and it's cool for you to handle. And then you're going to stuff it with the rice and meat mixture. And then you're going to put a little, I saw him put some mozzarella and Parmesan cheese on top. Once you cook your rice and all the meat mixture, I forgot to say, you're going to crack an egg to keep it binded so it doesn't fall apart and when you first cut it open. You're going to bind it with the egg, and then you're going to stuff your pepper and then add your cheese on top and broil it for about 10 minutes on 350, 400. All right. If you have any questions, Ms. King, I think all you guys on here have my number. You can feel free to call me if you need more instruction on that. Leftover vegan stir fry. I would turn that vegan stir fry into a soup. Do like a ramen soup. Or you can do egg rolls, like an egg roll thing with it. Or you can turn it into a fried rice, add some rice to it, and do it like a fried rice. Having a black bean and veggie wrap for dinner. Okay, good job. Spinach, good idea. Didn't think about the egg. All right, awesome. Any other questions? Any other questions? Alrighty. Well, we are going to let y'all go. This will be available for replay. And let us know if you want to do this again. If this is helpful for you, please let me know. And if not, okay, we have a question also on Zoom. We're also live on Zoom about sandwich meats. Sandwich meats are great right now because it's, it's convenient for the kids to make a sandwich themselves. You can also turn those sandwich meats. I saw someone do a sweet potato stuffed with some deli meats and some bell peppers and onions. Then they did one with like a Philadelphia style with some steak. So that's a great way to do it other than just using sandwich meat to make sandwiches all day. So any other questions before we begin? Sauce suggestions for the turkey wraps. Do salsa. You can do guacamole. You can do hummus in replacement of mayo. You can do salsa, hummus. You can do a little sriracha to make it spicy. All those type of great things. So thank y'all so much, and I hope you have a great night. If you need me, you know how to reach me. Thanks. See you later.